Hello students, welcome back to our second English class. Today we will improve our grammar comprehension skills. We will review a little bit more about our adverb clauses and we will practice our listening skills. But before we continue with our class, I would like you to try and solve a riddle. It says, the shape of a tennis court. I will give you a hint. What do you think is the shape of a tennis court? The answer is a noun that begins with the letter R and ends with the letter R. At the end of this video, I will reveal the answer. Let's see if you guess it. In the last class, you were told to finish circling the adverb clauses in the dialogues found from number 3 to number 6. Right now, you can check the answers from the dialogues that you have to do. If you need more time to see the answers, you can pause the video and check your answers with time. Alright, now that we've checked our dialogue, we're going to review a little bit more what is an adverb clause. An adverb clause is a group of words that functions as an adverb and contains a subject and a verb. Remember, if it's a clause, that means that it has a subject and a predicate. So, when you want to identify an adverb clause in a sentence, you can ask yourself the W questions that we learned. For example, in this sentence that we have here on the screen, it says, when the sun rises, we will escape. Which is the adverb clause in the sentence? When the sun rises. Why? Because this is answering the question of when. So this is the adverb clause, when the sun rises. Take your time to read the chart found on page 371, where you have your grammar section and the topic of adverb clauses, and see more examples. Now, let's get to work. Flip to page 372. There you're going to find 3 activities related to the adverb clause. We're going to start working on activity A together. It says, underline the subordinate clause in each sentence. Identify what type of clause it is. So there's 2 things that we have to do here. First, we have to underline the subordinate clause, and then we're going to match with a line the sentence with the type of clause each sentence has. Are you ready? If you want to check your answers before I give the answers in each sentence, you can pause the video and work by yourself and then check the answer with me. Let's begin. Before the electricity came back, we had to use candles. What is the subordinate clause in this sentence? Yes, if you had your index cards, it's easier to identify our subordinate clause. So, the subordinate clause in the first sentence is before the electricity came back. And what type of clause is this? If you have your index cards, like these ones that I did with the type of clause, and then at the back I wrote the subordinate conjunctions, you're going to see that before is a type of temporal clause. So that's the answer for number 1. Number 2, since my granny doesn't drive, she always uses public transportation. Let's try to identify the conjunction. Yes, the conjunction is since. So this is my adverb clause. Since my granny doesn't drive, she always uses public transportation. And what type of clause uses the subordinate since? So the type of clause is reason. The reason why granny doesn't drive, she always uses public transportation. Number 3, if you jogged in the morning, you would feel much more awake. Again, you can identify the conjunction and you underline if you jogged in the morning, right? And the type of clause is conditional. Correct. And you draw a line there. Number 4, I had such strong pain in my back that I decided not to exercise for a while. Which would be my clause in that sentence? Yes, that I decided not to exercise for a while. And what type of clause would this be? Yes, result. Very good. You can continue working by yourself from 5 to 8 just to practice a little bit more using and identifying subordinated clauses. Let's take a break from adverb clauses and improve our listening skills. We are going to practice our listening skills, so open your book to page 270. I will read the conversation for you so you can answer as you listen the two first sections of the book. That means this one and the true and false section. So I will begin reading. You can pause or rewind if you had trouble listening. Let's begin. Good morning. I'd like to sign my family up for the annual Mother's Day race. Mother's Day? That's the second Sunday in May. Oh, then it will be on May 8th. How many members of your family will be participating? Just the four of us. My wife, me, and our two kids. I see. Well, we have three kinds of races. The longest one is 10 kilometers. There is a 5-kilometer race, and we also have a kids category. By the way, how old are your children? Oh, my daughter is 18 and my son is 12. In this case, I guess your daughter can participate in the adult category, but your son has to pick a kids category. You see, competitors under 15 are not allowed to sign up for an adult category since adults run on the street while kids run at the stadium. I think it won't be an issue. Then sign my wife and me up for the 10-kilometer race. We are experienced runners, so the distance is no sweat for us. Our daughter will probably do the 5-kilometer. And how far do the kids run? Ours wanted to test himself with a long distance race. Well, your son is 12, so he's supposed to run just 800 meters. Then I'm afraid it'll be a little bit disappointing for him. Tell him not to worry. 800 meters can still be a challenge. You know that three kinds of races have to be run very differently. You read my mind. I was just going to ask you for some advice. Well, your son is running a short distance race, so extending his endurance isn't essential for him. We recommend young athletes train a little bit and then just run as fast as they can. They are not going to score any points anyway. So the idea of the event is for them to have fun. Well, my son isn't much of a runner. He prefers to skate on ice twice as much. I'm the family coach. However, so I'm gonna train him for the big day. I see. I advise you not to overtrain him, as it is very uncomfortable to run with aching muscles, and it is not necessary to buy him new clothes or sneakers. Of course not. It takes a while to adjust to new sneakers. Now, your son is an ice skater, so without doubt he is in a great shape for the race. Actually, it's my daughter that I'm worried about most. Has she run any races before? I mean, if she hasn't, 5 kilometers would be an extremely challenging distance for her. That's exactly what we told her, but she wants to try anyway. Then just ask her to try to run at a constant speed. I mean, you know that if she doesn't start running too fast, she will be exhausted to go on. Sure, I'll also tell her not to try to keep up with the champions. That's very important. We have seen many people trying to follow the professionals in the excitement of the moment and then not be able to finish the competition. Just tell your family to take it easy and have fun. Alright, now that I'm done reading you the story or the conversation, you were supposed to be answering, so now you can check your answers right now. You can pause the video if you need extra time to look and check the answers. Alright, so we're almost finishing with our second English class. This was really short and brief. But before we do that, I need to see if you guys really learned how to identify your subordinate clauses and if you understood your topic. So this is your first homework. What are you going to do? In your English book, you're going to do the page 372, activity C, from number 1 to number 4. Here below me in this bubble, you're going to see the picture of the activity. So those are the 4 sentences that you need to answer. Here is an example at the side of what you have to do. It says, Anna played with her iPad for 2 hours. She is addicted to the brain test app. And then in parentheses, you have the conjunction that you need to use in the sentence. So the conjunction you need to use is because. The answer is, Anna played with her iPad for 2 hours because she is addicted to the brain test app. So that's what you're going to do from number 1 to number 4. You're going to use the word that is in parentheses and rewrite the sentence. Now, there's 2 options. You can either send it via the platform. You can just answer the questions, write the answers as a message, or you take a picture to your book and send it through the platform. But you need to do it because as you see, this costs 5 points in your English class, all right? So good luck. All right, guys, so as promised, this is the answer for your riddle. The shape of a tennis court and a noun that begins and ends with the letter R is rectangular. Were you able to guess it? All right. I hope you enjoyed your English class as much as I did. But sadly, it's time to go. So, see you soon. Raccoon. Stay home, guys. Bye.